Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and feel free to comment down below what you would like me to do for future videos. So today we are talking about the state of Toonami. Forever World actually already covered this, so I'm kind of just putting my spin on it, my spiel on it as well. I looked into it more. So for those of you that are not familiar with what Toonami is, basically, it was how most of the U.S. Got introduced to anime back in the late 90s, 2000s, and currently it is still ongoing. It did die because there wasn't enough people watching it back in 2008. But then it came back because they did basically like an April Fool's joke where they brought it back for one night, put like the main crazy series episodes like Gohan versus Cell, Goku versus Frieza, all these crazy fights going on, and they did it as like a teaser, and it ended up coming back in 2012. And for the past several years, it's been doing okay, but lately it has just been getting worse and worse, and less people are watching it. So back when it first came out, probably mid-2000s was when I started watching it. It was pretty nice how they did it. So it's not like today where you have, basically, if it's a really good anime, they will almost simultaneously release the dub and stuff at the same time at some sort of streaming service. Back then, usually there was like a 6-month to a year wait to see how popular it did in Japan, and if they wanted to see if it would do popular in the dub. Obviously, the most famous dub being the Dragon Ball Z series, because most people prefer that particular dub over the sub of it. Well, at least Americans do, anyway. But it was kind of nice. It introduced most of my childhood. You had Gundam, you had Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT was on it, Naruto was on it, Bleach was on it, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh, Bobo. I think you had Gundam on it, He-Man, just all these shows I'm looking at. I think there was a Transformers show. I'm just kind of scrolling. Bakugan was on there. You had Ben 10 on there, Dead Man Wonderland, one of my favorite shows, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which everybody loves that, of course, Soul Eater, Sword Art Online, I think that's still currently on it, and just all of these other shows that, it was different. It was definitely different than the cartoons we were getting. The only similar cartoon that I kind of compare to anime is Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is, yes, it is technically a cartoon, that is not an anime. But the problem we're having right now, I think, is just because back when it first started, YouTube streaming services, they weren't massively huge. YouTube came out, I think, around 2006, 2007. There wasn't really any anime on it at that point in time. The copyright stuff didn't really matter. So you could actually see some anime. I watch most of Naruto on YouTube back in the day. Back before all of the adpocalypses and all the other stuff that was going on with it. But basically what happened, I think, around 2008 was a lot of people, kind of similar to now, same problem, different era, 10 years later, a lot of people started streaming stuff online, realizing they could get manga and subs on the internet, and that's kind of where they went to, and Toonami kind of piddled out 2008. And then they brought it back. All the nostalgia was there. Everybody was like, oh my god, yes, nostalgia. Let's get Toonami back on the air, 2012. And it came back my senior year of high school, which was pretty cool. And it has been going for quite a while. They had Dragon Ball Super and some other, My Hero Academia is on there, Fully Coolly Progressive is on there. I think Sword Art Online is on there as well right now. And they had some decent shows. Brought back some decent shows. People were watching it for a while on cable. But then streaming services started to evolve, get even better. You could get stuff the same day it was released in Japan, either the subbed or dubbed version of it. Now you got Crunchyroll, Funimation, and countless free sharing websites that are technically illegal, but people use anyway to get all their anime sources. Same with manga as well. You got Shonen Jump, and just all of these streaming services basically making Toonami kind of useless, I hate to say at this point, because it is weekly episodes. It is most of the stuff that they're showing is way far behind the subbed version or the up-to-date version that you can get on Crunchyroll or Funimation, and it's not keeping up with the times. Back when it first came out, it was on 5 days a week. I remember it. It was Monday through Friday, and it was on like, I think it was like 5 o'clock to maybe 9 o'clock at night or something like that. And me, my brother, and my sister, we sit down, we watch Yu Yu Hakusho, we watch Dragon Ball Z. Those are the main two shows that we got to watch, that I watched personally, when it was back on the air 5 days a week. And I think going forward, if Toonami wants to be able to compete with these streaming services, one or two things are going to have to happen. One, they're going to have to put it on every single day, put on a bunch for a couple hours, 2-3 hours, put on a bracket of extremely popular anime that everybody likes, Naruto, My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball Z, maybe all the popular shonen anime, maybe throw in a movie here and there, because they did once in a while, they would throw in a movie. Like, that's how I saw I think it was oh god, I can't remember the name of it. Spirited Away. That's how I saw that movie, was on Toonami when it was back there in the day. And do something like that, or they're just going to have to go full streaming service, unfortunately, with it, because the amount of different things you can do to view anime now, cartoons in general, there's just too many options out there, and Toonami, honestly, at this point in time, can't keep up with it, and we're kind of back where we were back in 2008, when people started realizing they could get all this stuff online. The quality wasn't the best, because I was probably watching Naruto in 240p, if I'm being honest. Some guy filming it on it with his original iPhone and then throwing it on YouTube in terrible quality, where you could barely read the subtitles underneath it, if they had subtitles back then. But that's just kind of where we are with it. So if you want to save Toonami, start watching it on Saturdays. Program your TV, remind yourself to watch it. At the moment, it's like a 3-hour block right now. It's just been the past couple of years. It's just been cutting down the time frame that it's been on, because you got your I call them, they're fun shows, but they're also, some of them are mindless shows, like your Family Guy, your American Dad, Rick and Morty. That's not really too mindless, but shows that you can just kind of sit down and watch, and you can watch the same episode 50 times and you never get bored of it. Just something to get your mind off of work and your daily life for a little bit. All of those shows seem to be more popular, and because this is literally one station, you go to Japan or something, they got almost every major broadcasting network, they have some sort of anime on it. Or here in the U.S., it's still more cartoons. You got South Park is a big one, as I said, Family Guy, American Dad, let's see, Rick and Morty, I think Final Space is getting up there in popularity. You got Harley Quinn now, which I'm currently reviewing, pretty good too. But it's just not keeping up with the cartoons that people are watching, that kids are watching at this point in time, and a lot of people don't even know that it's on. I see like one of the first searches when I typed up on the internet is Toonami still a thing in 2020? And yes, it is still a thing. It's on every Saturday, 11:30 to 4, and even that time frame though is kind of, I hate to say it's terrible, but it is really terrible. I mean, you got people working weekends now. I don't really work Sunday, so I can stay up and watch it. But, Saturday night is the night for, people to go out, have fun, party, whatever. And 9 out of 10, if you got teenagers or kids, if you give them a bedtime, which a lot of parents will, I mean, they're probably in bed by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at the latest, and it doesn't even start until 11:30. So they're not even able to watch it on TV because they are already in bed and going to sleep. And unless you're on second shift or something, most people aren't staying up to watch it. I hate to say it, but they really aren't. Because, you got Netflix. There's so many things to watch, so many different animes to watch, so many shows to watch in general, that it is. I can almost guarantee you, give it the year, give it a few months, and Toonami, yet again, is going to be off the air. If they put it on at a reasonable time where people are actually watching it, they put on the popular anime. Maybe if they try to do it for 5 days a week as a test run, see what happens, maybe you'll get more people to watch it. But more and more people are kind of getting off of cable because of the price, because of the streaming services available to you, and because, you can pretty much find anything on the internet at this point whenever you want. You might have to wait an extra day to watch an episode or something, but it's there. It's there for you to find and view. So that's just kind of my take on Toonami. Hashtag save Toonami. I'll put that in the comments, the link down below. And maybe I'll put a link to Toonami as well down below. But It is. It's just one of those things where, yes, it was a big part of my childhood. It had its time and place, but I think we need to give her a worthy farewell, or she needs to step up her game and get those views. Because as of right now, it's 9 out of 10. They're just going to get rid of it. They're going to throw Rick and Morty, maybe Robot Chicken, American Dad, and those types of shows on in place of that 3.5 hour block, whatever it is that they're doing now. It sucks, as I said. It's sad, but if you want to buckle down and save Toonami, let's get on it. Let's go. But at the same time, I can definitely see that her time is done, unfortunately. I can definitely see it, and there's really nothing we can do about it unless she becomes some sort of streaming service, which would be fine by me. So my name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.